We haven't left. We're still here at the link, still in the same clothes, but we just taped this. Chris Ostremski, Eri Barrister, still at the link. We still can't get enough. We're still basically jittery about that final game that we saw. 14-13, UNC winning their first title since 1991. Just quick thoughts. Many of you guys saw our recap from yesterday. Just quick thoughts on that game again.
I think you just have to give credit to Carolina. When they jumped out to a quick lead, I thought maybe it was going to be Notre Dame or Loyola all over again. Maryland stormed back, had the game in hand, 2-goal lead late in the game, and somehow Carolina was able to tie it with enough time, and then get the game into overtime. And then, they just showed the heart of a champion by stopping an extra man advantage from Maryland and then scoring on their own extra man advantage on the other end. I think you have to give all the credit to Bresci, just making sure his boys believe. And they said, why not us? No one. They really embraced that underdog role, and it's kind of hilarious to think of North Carolina. His team always has one of the best recruiting classes every year. A team who has the tradition and the history that they have is kind of an underdog in this game. And but they embraced it. They believed it. That they were the underdog, and they played like it. They played really loose, even when they were down or when Maryland was cutting away at their lead. They never seemed to panic. Maryland was just playing better at that time. It wasn't that Carolina was just totally losing control of the game. It was just Maryland played well, but like a champion, North Carolina was able to respond, and hats off to the Tar Heels.
A lot of the cleaning staff, you just saw someone just walk by. They're just basically wrapping up, getting set for the next event of the link. We're going to wrap up this event with some of our best things that happened over the weekend. So give me your best game. I think it's a no-brainer for you.
Today, I think. Yeah, I think today was the best game. Just the stakes, this is kind of how I felt about not to make a Philly hijack, but Nova's win over Carolina. I think that shot is more important than a couple other shots just because of the stage. The same type of thing, overtime game, Maryland versus Brown was excellent, and there were other excellent games throughout the tournament.
So that would be your runner-up?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say that was not much too, but again, because of the stage that it was a Final Four or championship level, and then it's an overtime game. You really can't beat that in terms of drama and theater.
I think that is also a no-brainer for me. But if I had to pick a number 2, I like the Division III title game a lot.
Oh, for sure.
High offense. 14-13. Salisbury beat Tufts, I believe, and it came on another big save, last-second save by Colin Raymond, who won the D3 Most Valuable Player award. Shout out to him and the Salisbury Seagulls from their 11th national championship in Division III. I could have gone with that second Division I game where it went to overtime and Brown mounted a great comeback, but I just like the Division III game a lot. Your overall, outside of Chris Cloutier, because he was the best player in the Division I tournament, give me your best individual performance. Out of all the 3 days, give me your best individual performance. Outside of Chris Cloutier, it's not. That's probably.
We're shameless homers, so I'm just gonna totally embrace that. But I'm gonna go with Rambo. I think Rambo had one of the strongest tournaments throughout of any player out there. I think he stepped up today. Had a hat trick, 3 assists. It was just they fell just a little bit short, but I don't think that takes away from just the monster games that he had. Just the game against Brown, just to get here was a big game, and then he came back again with another 6-point day. I go with Rambo. Outside of Chris Cloutier, shout out Chris, you're the man. No one I think ever imagined that kind of explosion. So out of Carolina in general, and out of him in particular, and then for him to against Loyola, and then for him to come back into the championship game and drop another five spot. He obviously gets it, but if we're going outside of him, I'm going to go with Rambo.
One of the biggest cliches I've ever heard is defense wins championships. And although Division II game was boring because it went defense, I'm not going anywhere Division II. Jack Kelly and then Brian Balkin was number 1, but if I had to choose anyone outside of that, it's Jack Kelly. They just kept their teams in overall. Jack Kelly went in the losing effort. Sorry to Brown and Jack Kelly. Shout out to Jack Kelly, first team USI LA All-American choice. Brian Balkham's consistency picked up this entire weekend. He stood tall for the Tar Heels, 13 saves in the national championship game. I give it up to him.
Kelly was, not to interrupt, you have a really good call on him.
Yes.
Because he made the all-tournament team as the all-tournament goalie.
Indeed.
So.
The best day, we'll take the games as well as the atmosphere, as well as the weather, as well as the tailgates. What was the best day for you personally?
I think you had to go on a personal level.
Yes.
Friday, just because like it felt like we made it. We got here on the media day. I met Chris for the first time ever, actually in person. We met a couple of people that we're big fans of in terms of work. In terms of like lacrosse Saturday, can't beat it. Beat some attendance numbers for the last 5 years. Great day. Both games were really good. The Carolina game was a little bit sketchy at the beginning against Loyola, but Loyola came back, made it really thrilling. Obviously, the Brown versus Maryland game was in overtime. I just think like that stage, everybody was watching on TV. Hopefully, the numbers look good as well. But I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Saturday as best game for lacrosse wise. But personally, I'm going to go with Friday's media day. It was pretty fun.
I love Friday's media day because we got to do periscopes. Make sure you check them out on my YouTube page, the College Crosse TV. That's when we basically got that thing started. Saturday was probably the best day. The two games were great, especially that second game. First game was a little bit lopsided, but we saw something special out of that. Atmosphere felt great. All four teams traveled really well. The weather was fantastic. It was sunny. It was decently hot, not that humid. Tailgates were great when I went to wherever I went to. Shout out to Barstool Jordy.
What's up, Jordy?
Who couldn't go to the Saturday, Sunday games. He's down the shore. Hopefully the shore was good. I'm not really totally sure about that. I think it was raining, but saw him Saturday for the first time as well. Met a lot of people for the first time as well.
The Pit. Shout out to the Pit. We saw you those guys today.
Indeed.
Met them for the first time, so that's great.
But I think Saturday's atmosphere is fantastic. It felt great to just be outside, kicked off a summer weekend with just great lacrosse. Anything you want to do a best of? I'm thinking.
Best of. Best day food-wise on the media day.
Ooh. I don't think Monday's food was that good. I honestly forgot what was Sunday. Oh, you know what? I didn't like Sunday. Saturday.
Saturday was good.
Cheesesteak and the sausage sandwiches.
The sausage was banging. I don't even like meat that much, and that was awesome. So.
Sunday was I forget what it was. Something weird. I didn't have. Oh, I think it was coleslaw. I forget what it was. It wasn't that good because it was D3 games. Today wasn't all right. I mean, you had the cinnamon things, and then I forget what else. Pulled pork was good, but I mean, give me Saturday.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
Best press conference.
Best press conference. I think the UNC one today that I went to at the end of the game. UNC still didn't really have it sunk in yet that they just were national champions, and it was just so like happy and joyful. And I came at the end of the Maryland one, it was like just depressing. But congrats to UNC again. What about you? You went to some.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm going to go with the UNC one on the semifinal day, just because I think that you just kind of saw something in them that they just really embraced their role in this tournament. Like, I don't want to say forgotten team because this is North Carolina, big name, but you had Maryland coming in as the number 1 seed. You had Brown coming in with just the newspaper clippings and just the hottest team in Division One. You had Loyola with huge contingent coming in from Baltimore. They were the previous champions in 2012. They had a couple chances in the years before leading up to this year. And North Carolina, just nobody really was paying attention to them in the ACC. No one really paying attention to them. I mean, they were obviously number 1 seed, but they got knocked out of the ACC tournament. They're maybe the second or third last team to get into the tournament, so it was under the radar. I had to travel the first round game to Marquette, and then travel the game against Notre Dame was a blowout, and then it just everything just started clicking. That offense, especially early on, each game, last 3 games, they just lit it up in the first quarter in terms of just an efficient offense. They blew out Notre Dame, they blew out Loyola in the first half, and it looked like they were going to blow out Maryland in the first quarter of this one. So I just think they were rolling, they were on it, and I just kind of felt some energy coming out of their press conference that they were really believed, and they kind of convince themselves that nobody else believed in that, which that's half the battle. Sometimes you just have to convince yourself that you can do it, and then a little bit of extra edge in believing that other people don't believe in you. So I think I really like that press conference on the semifinal day.
Let's get 2 quick best offs, just a couple words, nothing that much. Best goal.
It was a
Bailey Till's?
Bailey Till's backhanded goal. It was just like a weird angle. It was coming one way, and it was just my favorite goal.
I like the John Upton one. I thought it was fantastic. Like, a similar one, I think it was the second goal against Salisbury early in the first quarter, and just a little behind the back little thing. I was like, how did he do that? So give me John Upton with that best goal. Best Philly kid that you met.
Carolina.
I'll say even that one. We loved them all.
Yeah, that
we
for
loved
sure.
them all.
Yeah, this is gonna be difficult. They were all great.
We loved
the
them all.
Carolina guys were fun.
Yeah.
Just because it was like kind of funny. They just jumped in on, and we got the cool little information about who taught Bresci to dab.
Yes.
Which there was another one on the field and a couple more throughout.
Yeah.
It was giving dabs to everybody, all the kids in the street.
Yeah,
It was great. So,
and then we'll close out with this question. In a sentence, summarize the 2016 season.
Sentence. It was lit. That was it. I mean, it was lit.
In a season filled with parody, parody won. That's all I'm gonna say. Look out for the College Crosscast going out this week on our website, collegecross.com. Follow us at SexyTimeLax. For Eri Barrister, I'm Chris Ostremski, signing off from Lincoln Financial Phil for the final time. Enjoy your summer, and stay hydrated.